Night of the Black Rose, written by James Lowder and published in 1991, is the second novel in the RAVENLOFT line. It details the tale of how Lord Soth from the Dragonlance campaign setting and books enters into the realm of RAVENLOFT. And it was very upsetting to many Dragonlance fans. This book was controversy. The book is 313 pages and starts out at the end of the Test of the Twins novel in the Dragonlance line, with Katara dying. Lord Soth has sent his ghost, Senshel, to go to the Abyss to retrieve Katara's soul and put it in this amulet. However, Lord Soth's ghost betrays him, and Lord Soth begins to try to kill his Senshel ghost servant, when the Mist take him into RAVENLOFT. There, at first, Lord Soth believes that he is being punished and is trapped in the Abyss, but soon comes to realize he is in a different world. He comes into contact with several people during this time. Azrael the Werebadger, who becomes his new Senshel, Magda the Wanderer, a Vistani, and Count Strahad von Zarovich himself. The interplay between Count Strahad and Lord Soth is the highlights of this book. It's really good. Two powerful titans standing eye to eye, neither really wanting to make the first move against each other. It's very interesting and done really well. Eventually, Strahad tells Lord Soth that there may be a portal back to his homeworld in the neighboring domain of Gundrak, which is Duke Gundar's domain, and that he will have to kill Duke Gondar's son and spill the blood, and that will enter the portal. So Soth, Azrael, and Magda set out on a journey, invade Duke Gundar's castle, fight Duke Gundar, and this is the first appearance of Duke Gundar besides in the campaign setting, and he's done really well in here. Nobody had really a baseline of what he would be like, and he's done pretty good in here. So hats off to James Lowder for that. They end up killing Duke Gundar's son, entering the portal, and it leads them back to Barovia. Eventually, Soth and Strahad get into another confrontation. Strahad finally reveals that Soth's ghost Senshel was hiding out here with him the whole time, and he sends the ghost Senshel off, and Soth follows him in the mist, and therefore Lord Soth is thereby granted a domain in the mist and stuck in the domain of Sithicus. Azrael is his Senshel, and Magna the Wanderer is stuck in the domain because Soth does not want her to leave, and maybe Katara's spirit is somewhere there in the domain. Okay, James Lowder is a good writer. His writing style is easy to read. The book is action-packed. I liked all the characters. Magna, Azrael, they're all done really well. They're good new side characters and do become important characters in the campaign setting of RAVENLOFT. I do like Lowder's interpretation of Duke Gundar. Like I said, this was the first time he had really been done, and I thought it was a good job. I like Gundar. I like Lowder's interpretation of Count Strahad von Zarovich. Still not the perfect Strahad, but it's a lot more closer to what he is in the campaign setting. So kudos to him. The big point is Lord Soth. Does Lowder get Soth right? And to those purists who read the Dragonlance novels, Lowder Soth may not be exactly the same. I'll give him that. However, I do not find Lowder Soth to be that much different. I compare it to when a comic book writer writes a comic book and is on it for a long time, and then he finally leaves and a new writer comes in. The new writer can either be totally different and from anything that's before and not get the character right at all, or the new writer can be close but not perfect to what the old writer was. And I think that's what happens here with Lowder. He's close to what Soth was, not perfect, but he's close, and so it works. This book will get a sequel, but it will be the last official published book of the RAVENLOFT line, Spectre of the Black Rose. However, I do recommend this one. This one's a good read, whether you're a Dragonlance fan or not. If you're a Dragonlance fan, you'll like to see how Soth came to Ravenloft. You know he ends up going back to Dragonlance, so don't be so upset by it. If you're not a Dragonlance fan, you don't need to know anything about Dragonlance much. What little you need to know is explained in the book. So, good book by James Lowder. I highly recommend this one. On the fabled world of Krynn, Lord Soth finally learns that there's a price to pay for his long history of evil deeds, a price even an undead warrior might find horrifying. Dark powers transport Soth to Barovia, and there the Death Knight must face the dread minions of Count Strad von Zarovich, the vampire lord of the Nightmare Land. But with only a captive, Vistani woman, and an untrustworthy ghost for allies, Lord Soth soon discovers that he may have to join forces with the powerful vampire if he is to ever escape the realm of terror. Night of the Black Rose is his second in an open-ended series of gothic horror tales dealing with the masters and monsters of the Ravenloft dark fantasy setting.